Morning ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video we are going to have a look and play the TVP. Yes, the tier 10 tank, the medium tank. It was always been a good tank, always been a popular tank. It's got the 4-shell autoloader, but it's also been a tank that I haven't really performed too well in. But I've always admitted that it's a me problem and not the tank. The tank is a fantastic tank, it always has been, but it just didn't fit me. And it was a tough one because I wanted to like it, and I know I can like it, but because I know it is a fantastic tank, but I just seem to do really bad in the tank, so that's why I don't really play it too often. So Wargaming buffed the tank, they've nerfed the tank as well, and some other few other changes that they've done. But one thing that is really noticeable is the reload. So Wargaming have added 1 second to the magazine reload, but they have also taken off pretty much half a second in the intra clip. So you're looking at around 2,700 DPM, which, I mean, it's nowhere near those are medium tanks. I mean, you look at things like the Leopard 3,700, it's like 1,000 DPM less than other tanks in its class. But you've got to remember it is a auto loader, so you can still deal a big amount of damage in a short period of time. So this is very good at cleaning up, just like any sort of auto loader, especially mediums or light tanks. It's very good at cleaning up because you've got the mobility to go with that, and you can just get around the map, go for targets with around about 1,000 hit points, and you can just clear them up, reload, go into your next target and do the same. So the reload is now 22.63 seconds, and the shell intra clip is now 1.5 seconds. So that half a second in between each shell has honestly made a massive difference to this tank. And I would say that the reload, the 1 second reload added on to the magazine, definitely is worth the half a second taken off on the intra clip. So of course it has the 4 shells, penetration 254 on your AP, 319 on your AP, on your heat, sorry, and that's another thing, is now AP instead of APCR. But of course I do run most autoloaders with this calibrated shells. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but neither does the vent. I mean, the vent adds, yeah, it adds everything a little bit, but hardly anything. The magazine shell reload, you can half a second if you wanted to, and the DPM goes up sort of to just 49. So I think it's I prefer the penetration because you will need that, and without this you will have less than 300 millimeters on your heat pen. So I think the calibrated shells is a must on this tank. So yeah, I mean, let's get into some games and just to see how this tank now is after update 9.1. So we have 2 battles for you today. One myself, which again, nothing special. I don't really, when it's myself playing, I don't really like to show like really special games. I want to show you just the average kind of game that you can get in this tank. And also I like to show another replay to show what the tank is actually really capable of doing in the right hands. So yes, occasionally you might have a really good game of mine on there, but the majority of my games are literally just the average kind of player. So I mean, look at that poor Sheridan, look at that poor Sheridan. So I would definitely recommend playing the tank with somebody or with cover. Always make sure that you've got cover, whether that will be another medium tank, a heavy tank. Just always make sure you've got cover, because when you are on that reload, you are on a massive reload, 20 odd seconds. So if there's another medium, something like a T62 Leopard or anything with DPM, they will absolutely batter you while you're on that reload. So do make sure that you've got cover at all times. I would always, again, I'm not a damage farmer. I don't really care about damage, so I wouldn't leave someone that is on 500 hit points to go for a tank that is on 1,000 hit points. I would clear that tank with 500 hit points. And again, this tank is absolutely perfect for this. And again, we're going for this TVP here. I knew the grill was there to protect me. I knew he wasn't even looking at me, and I know if the grill can shoot him at least once, then I will be able to clear him and then move on to the next target. And the best thing with that, you move on to the next target, and by the time you get there, you've pretty much reloaded again. So I always like to clear up. It's definitely, for me, it is a clear up tank. You know, just go for the targets, clear them up, move on to the next target, and by the time you get there, you should have reloaded. Now again, just like any auto loader, don't be afraid to reload if you can't get all your shells out. Like here, I could have gone for the reload here. I had one shell, but I really wanted to get that last shot in. I thought I would, but I didn't. But if you know that you're not going to be able to get that shot off, then just reload. Because if I would have reload instead of trying to get that shot off on the mouse, I would have actually reloaded almost, I wouldn't say now, but almost around about now. And there's 1200 hit points on this E4, but because I'm still reloading, I'm only going to get one shot off. So yeah, I think I missed out on the damage there because I didn't reload my shell. So don't be afraid to reload your shell. If you've taken 3 shots then and you haven't got that 4th shot, just reload. And the same with any, if you've only got 1 shot off and you know that you're not going to be able to get a shot off for at least half a minute, then just reload the 4 shells. The only time I wouldn't reload is if there is a tank on a 1 shot and you've got 3 shells. If they're on a 2 shot, then I would maybe reload, because at least if you bounce, you've still got a bit of backup. So next up, we are watching Batman, and to be honest, I'm very surprised about Batman. It's not very often I see him do a big damage game, like never. So this is probably his highest ever damage. So yeah, I very rarely see good games from Batman, but he plays it fantastic. And you can just see, even in this kind of position, this tank's got no armor. This tank has no armor, but we're still, when you're in a hold down position, when you're moving, you can get bounces, but you can't rely on the armor profile. It just works when it wants to work. You'll get bounces when RNG is on your side, but don't rely on that armor. Don't go hold down thinking that you're going to bounce everything, because you're not. In this circumstance, Batman was very lucky. He was very lucky to have bounced 1,000 hit points at the very start of the game. And again, he's going to move forward, gets the last shot on the E50, does get lucky with the fire there, but he does manage to clear him. And that's it. If you can just get 1 fire, I mean, you've got 4 shells. If you get 1 fire and 4 shells out on 1 tank, you've done 1,500 hit points, like at least 1,500 hit points. You could do upwards of 1,200 hit points. Usually you're looking at around 1,000 to 1,100 damage per magazine, so around about that. So Batman's got 900 there. I mean, look at that, 1,300 hit points, and that's just with 1 magazine. And because he's got cover here, he's in a perfect situation. He's got tanks around him, he's got cover, and nobody is attacking him when he's on that reload. And that is how you need to play this tank. Just hide when you're on a reload. Either hide on a reload or make your move to the next target. And again, you could see he gets yet again another bounce. That is 1,400 block damage in a TVP. It is, yeah, you're not going to get that, guys. Don't watch this replay and think you're going to get a lot of bounces, because Batman just got lucky. He got lucky with the bounces, and he gets lucky there with the miss. But he's playing it fantastic, and he's playing it just how you should be playing a TVP. Again, he's on a reload. He does have his team around him, but he's not taking any chances, and he's going to hide. And as soon as he starts to get down on the reload, he's going to then make his move, just like he does here. So by the time he gets there, he's already reloaded his magazine, and he can make a move. Now look, he's got 1 shell left. He could use that 1 shell, or he could go for the reload. And because he's nowhere near the FV, he's gone for the reload. And that's what I mean about don't be afraid to reload your magazine. So he's going to get there. Now he's only on 6,100 damage at the minute. This FV he's running away. He's running away. There is still 6 teammates alive on Batman's team, but because he's got the speed, he's got the mobility, he's going to get all of his magazine into this guy. There's 2 shots, 3 shots, and 1 more, and he gets the win. And Very nice game. It was a very, very nice game, and that is what this tank can do. I've seen loads on loads of 8,000 damage games in this tank, because you build up the damage just like any auto loader. You build up the damage very, very quickly. It doesn't have good DPM, but you'll be surprised at just how quickly you can build up the damage on the TVP. So nice buff for the TVP. The intra-clip reload is absolutely fantastic, a fantastic buff. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.